We're getting used to talking about rising fuel costs, rising any kind of costs, aren't we, at the moment? But if you filled up your tank with petrol over the last few days, you might have had to do a double take.
Yes.
Because it just takes
one of
less and less time to get to a very, very big number, doesn't it?
Yeah, that target gets quicker and quicker. That's diesel is very close now to topping £2 a litre, while petrol is also at a record high. Ben is there, and any hope, Ben, that these prices are going to come down anytime soon?
It's the big question. It's the big question everyone wants to know. You know, we often talk about the household energy bills, don't we? Because the price rises have been so steep. But for so many people, the daily reminder is those prices that they're paying for petrol and diesel. A very good morning to you. Every time we fill up or pass a forecourt, just like this one, we get a stark visual sign of the rising cost of living. On average, a litre of petrol will now set you back 191.1 pence. That record high was set on Monday, and it comes after countless other record highs that were set over the past few months since Russia's invasion of Ukraine pushed up wholesale costs. You may be saying, I've paid more than that. Well, that's because this is just an average, and the price at expensive motorway pumps is likely to be much higher. The price of diesel actually dipped ever so slightly on Monday to just under 199 pence per litre, but it's widely expected to top £2 within days. Soaring prices might be nothing new. We know lots of people have already given up their car or maybe using it less, but each penny more makes that life a bit that trickier for people who need a vehicle to get to work. People like care worker Danielle, who let us spend the morning with her on a visit to look after one of her clients, Joyce.
I get up every day and it doesn't feel like going to work. It's a lovely job. I was made redundant at the start of COVID from a sales position, and I wanted to do something that made a difference to the community, so I thought care work was ideal, and I absolutely loved the job and the customers. Hello, Joyce.
Hello.
Care is such a fundamental service in the community. It's, you know, these people, hundreds of people rely on us every day to be able to live at home and give them some lease of life.
I rely on 4 visits a day from various carers. If I didn't have 4 visits, I wouldn't be able to stay in my own house. So it's very important.
The clients rely on us every day to be able to live at home, so we have to rely on our cars to get to and from clients' homes.
And some biscuits.
Without the sort of incentives from the company, they've given us 2 pay rises and an increase in the mileage rate. Without that, it wouldn't be possible for me to do the job. Just couldn't make ends meet with the fuel prices. It is worrying. Obviously, you are driving around all day, every day. You're at the risk of running out of fuel, and with the prices so high, it is a worry.
Well, as Danielle just told us, without her employer's help, she'd have to give up her dream job. But how much more can companies increase wages and the costs they pay for mileage? Well, now motoring organisations are looking to the government and petrol retailers to step in. Of the £1.91 we're paying for unleaded at the moment, 53 pence goes on fuel duty and 32 pence goes on VAT. Could those be brought down? The Prime Minister and the Chancellor this week appeared not to rule that out, but they pointed out they'd already cut fuel duty by 5 pence a litre back in March. The claim, though, is that retailers didn't pass on that cut in full. The Competition and Markets Authority is investigating this, and it will report in July. The RAC wants it to look specifically at something called rocket and feather pricing.
So prices tend to go up like a rocket at the pumps and fall like a feather. Now, they go up like a rocket in a rising wholesale market and fall like a feather in a falling one. That's because the retailers are kind of protecting themselves in a rising market by passing on the increased costs every single day. But in a falling market, they hold off and they resist cutting prices. And that's why they fall like a feather. And that's all about kind of making extra money and making sure that they benefit and they can do some kind of headline grabbing cut for some more media attention generally.
The group that represents petrol retailers told us they were being unfairly scapegoated, that they do pass on the fall in wholesale costs to drivers and that they were operating on tiny profit margins. So what is the answer? Well, a price cap could help drivers, but it would probably harm the small independent retailers. Employees may well ask their bosses for more help, mileage payments, car sharing support, or maybe higher fares for taxi drivers, for example. Are you in that boat? Do you need to use your car for work? How are you coping with it? We'd love to hear from you. You can get in touch in the usual ways. And Nina and John, people will be doing little things, switching the air conditioning off, checking the tyre pressures. There's only so far that can go before, bigger things need to be done.
Yeah, and particularly for people who need to use the car for work and have to absorb that expense into their wage. Thank you, Ben.
It's roof boxes as well, roof bars. They can really slow you down, can't they, and make it less fuel efficient.
Or even just things in the boot, just emptying things you don't need to be carrying in the boot.
Children, that kind of thing.
Yeah, just leave them.
Yeah, go on your own. Thank you very much indeed, Ben.